So last class, we have been completed talking on procedure calling, how to write the code for calling your store procedures. This is what exactly we learned in the previous session about procedures and procedure callings. Well, the next thing what we are going to learn over here today is about, I said, we are going to learn about the concept of the caching. We are going to learn about the concept of caching. So what is this caching? And why do we require this caching? Okay, see, as explained to you earlier, you have a page, guys. Whenever you send a request to that page, the page is internally contacting a database. The page is internally contacting a database, fetching the data from different tables, and presenting you. Are you clear? So what is the total process? Request goes to a server. Server will now contact the database, fetches data from the database. Okay, creates a renders, makes life cycle. All the stages will happen. Finally, the output will be rendered and sent to the browser. Finally, the output is rendered and sent to the browser. Okay, that's what exactly we learned up in the previous classes. Okay, so basically, whenever a request goes to the page, all these things happen. Means every time the request goes, the complete lifecycle process will happen now. Are you clear? Starts, initializes, load, validating, event handling, rendering. In the event handling, it will contact the database now, loads the data, now rendering is done, and finally unload is done. Suppose if I create a page now and all the things happen, I refreshed it. When I refresh it, all story repeats again now. Did you catch my point? When I refresh it, all story repeats again. Imagine this page is being called by 1,000 people per second. This page is being called by or accessed by 1,000 people per second. Per second, 1,000 people are calling this. Means the server has to do the processing 1,000 times for every second now. Means imagine here, per a minute, it is 60,000 people calling it now. Per a minute, 60,000 requests are coming for the server for this page now. Means for every minute, the same page should be reprocessed for 60,000 times. Yes or not? The page should be reprocessed for 60,000 times. Means the life cycle has to repeat for 60,000 times, which is going to become a big burden on the server, man. This is going to become a big burden on the server. It is going to be a big burden on the server. That many times page getting reprocessed. That will increase the load on the server. A big burden on the server now. Are you clear or not? It increases the big burden on the server. So how to minimize it? How can I minimize this burden? If at all you just wanted to minimize this, we are provided with a concept called as caching. What is this caching? See, you can store the output of a page. You can store the output of a page in the cache memory and use it in the subsequent requests that are going to come for that page now. What is it? You can store the output of the page in a cache memory, and you can use that output for the subsequent requests that are coming for you. Did you get my point or not? Are you clear? So that's what. So basically what they do, they're just going to make a copy of it in the memory and use it for the subsequent request. So for example, I said you this. You went for a restaurant for having, see, Hyderabad is very famous for its biryani. You are just going for eating a biryani in a restaurant like a Paradise, one of the biggest brand in Hyderabad. So you went there for eating the biryani now. And guys, imagine there, what is that? See, every day, thousands of people visit there for eating the biryani now. Thousands of people will be visiting there for eating the biryani. So for every person, if they need to cook the biryani separately, that should be processed now. So every time, if you go into their kitchens now, Their kitchens have containers, like a big size containers, and they cook biryani for minimum 300 people at a time. Minimum 300 to 500 people at a time the biryani is cooked. Are you clear? So once they cook it for 300, 500 people at a time, a big container now, at a time with this 500 people can be served now. Again, parallelly, another 500 people will be preparing. So people will be continuously coming and the biryani will be continuously served there. Are you getting me or not? You continuously come there and we will be serving you continuously. This is a regular process that happens. So for every person, if they want to cook the biryani, imagine if there are 10,000 people visiting the restaurant in a day, 10,000 times, you can't prepare it now. Are you clear? Okay, so exactly, this is also the same concept here. What is that? I will process a page. I will completely complete the life cycle of the page. And the rendered output should be sent to the browser. Before sending that output, I will store this output in the cache memory. Before sending the rendered output to the browser, what I'll do? I'll store it in the cache memory. Once I store in the cache memory, the subsequent requests that are coming for the page, without reprocessing the whole things again, what you can do, you can simply use the content that is present inside of the cache now. You can simply use the content that is present inside of the cache memory. The content what is available in the cache memory can be used now directly. Are you guys clearer or not? What you can do? You can use the content that is available for you under the cache memory. That is the beauty of this one. But you have a doubt. What is the doubt? Sir, you are asking to use the content in the cache memory now. But if the data in the database changes, say 10,000 people will visit the restaurant every day, but I cannot cook for all the 10,000 people at a time. Why? The food will not be hot. The food will not be hot now. Yes or not? If you want to serve it hot, you are required to cook it like 300, 500 people continuously. At a time, if they cook for 10,000 people, the food doesn't taste good now. Am I right or wrong? Exactly. Here also, we'll have the doubt. What is the doubt? Sir, you're asking to store in the cache, but suppose if the data in the database changes, I'll be getting wrong outputs. Yes or not? That is why we don't store this for a long time here. We don't store this for a long time. We store it for a short time. We store it only for a short time. For example, I said you one thing. What is it? Per a second, I'm getting 1,000 requests for a page. Means for a minute, 60,000 requests are coming. Frequency of data modifications will not be that much. Frequency of the data modifications will not be that much. So cache this only for 60 seconds, man. Cache the page only for 60 seconds. So if you can cache the page for 60 seconds now, 60,000 requests can be served with only one processing now. Once I process this in the store, the 60,000 requests which are coming, I can do the same output. Are you getting me or not? If you feel the data is very sensitive, no sir, data is frequently changing up. For every 30 seconds it will change. Then cache it only for 30 seconds now. And if you cache it only for 30 seconds also, understand here you can minimize 59,998 reprocessings now. Why? In 1 minute, the page is processed only 2 times. Are you clear? Worst case, take 10 seconds, man. Worst case, take 10 seconds. If you take 10 seconds also, in 1 second, 60,000 people can be served off. Means you are going to reprocess the page for 6 times in 1 minute. How many? 6 times in 1 minute. Means how many did you minimize? 59,994. The number of times the pressure on the server is reduced. Did you get my point or not? The number of times you're visiting the server is reduced. See, earlier, you remember, we used to pay the electricity bills. My childhood days, I remember, if we want to pay the electricity bill, we used to go to the electricity department and stand in the queues. Big queues. If I go somewhere in the last day, it used to take 3 or 4 days in the 3 or 4 hours standing in the queue to pay the bill. By the time you come there, suppose if it's a lunch break, again you're required to start until the lunch is completed. It's a big headache. But today, we don't have that much of pressure at all. If you go to any electricity department billing counters, we don't find much people standing in the queues. Why? Everyone is making an online payment now. Everyone is making an online payment. So it reduces the burden there. So same ideology. What is it? We are caching this. Once we cache it, what is the benefit? We can minimize the number of times the page gets reprocessed per year in this process. That is the advantage with caching. That is the advantage with the caching. Are you clear? And for doing this caching, you don't require to write of any extra coding, man. You don't require to write of any extra logic here. Just one statement on the top of the page. That's all. What you require to add is only one statement on the top of the page. If you add one statement on the top of the page, enough, caching comes into picture. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, I'm going to create a new site, man, a new web application project. We'll name it as a caching site. Caching site. Empty web forms. Yeah. Actually, guys, I want to write database coding in this. So let me go to the web.config and add the connection string first. Okay, now I'm in the web.config and adding the connection string for SQL Server. Which database? For ASPDB database. And remember to read this connection string. What did we do? We added a class in the project naming it as readCS. Add a class for a name readCS. So this is the second time I'm showing you this process to you. readCS. And inside the readCS, we say system.configuration. And here we'll write one static property called as ASPDB. Okay, I followed the same thing when ASPDB. Here, your property is read only, right? Yes or not? Remember, it's one of a new feature. We already learned expression bodied members. You can write out the code like this enough here. You can write up the code, try to leverage the latest functionalities and the features. So what you can do, you can simply write this code in one line. Public static string ASPDB, lambda expression, read only property. Is nothing but a read only property. Okay, fine. I'm ready with my connection string. So I'm done with my connection string. Now, can I create a form now? Can I create, when I start adding my forms now? I'm adding a web form here. I'm not changing the name here. Let me new the name as web form 1. No changes. On this, I wanted to place a grid view. On this, I just wanted to place a grid view control. Okay, grid view control. And you guys know how to place a grid view. I don't require to tell you. Okay, let me add a grid view. And at the bottom, I want to display. See, basically, right now, client and server both are same machine for us now. Yes or not? But in the real time, client machine is different, server machine is different. Okay, now? Here, I want to write some JavaScript code to identify the client machine time. I want to write a JavaScript code to identify the client machine time. In JavaScript here, we have a date function. In JavaScript, we have a date function. So guys, watch it what I'm writing. Client mission date and time. How to get it? Date. It's a JavaScript date function here. That will not get you server time. That is going to get you the client time. If you want to get the server time, you record the percentile tags and write down, remember, date time dot short date string. We already learned it. That is the client time, what I'm getting here, not the server time. Okay. So just what I had here, a video. And this is going to show you the date and time of the client mission. Date and time of the client mission means when the output comes to the browser, this code is executed and it will show you the time when the output is presented to you. Are you clear? And where it will come? Bottom of the grid. Bottom of the grid. Now into this grid here, I want to load the data from our customer table. Into this grid, I want to load the data from our customer table. And you already know the code. I don't require giving an expression for how to write the code for loading the data into grid. Okay. I'm importing the system.data and SQL client. Then, you know all this code. You know all this code. Adapter, data set, call the fill method, bind it to grid. Or otherwise, take a radar and also do it. Take a radar and also do it. I've shown you some examples with radars. I've shown you some examples with data sets. Yeah, whatever it is, we are loading. And here, I want to write some code for picking the server time, not the client time. I want to write some code to pick the server time. Server time is the server machine date and time. How I'm getting it? Date time dot now dot posting. I'm just going to get the server machine date and time. Now run this. It will show you the server date time on the top of the grid and the client date time on the bottom of the grid. Okay, what's the output? Which table we picked out? Customer table, guys. And that active records. There's nothing special in this code. What is it showing you? What is it showing you? Right now, both are same computer. Nah, that's why we did not find much difference. But if you go to the real time, you won't have difference. Server processes, sends the output to the browser. Browser is going to present it. All this takes time. The same machine, we did not find any difference in the time at all. Okay, we did not notice. And now I'm refreshing this. I am refreshing the page. See, both the times are changing. What is the meaning? Request went to the server. Server reprocessed, sent the output to the browser and showing you the output. Now, if I refresh this for every second, the page is getting refreshed. Did you understand me or not? For every second, the page is going to be reprocessed by the server. Every time I refresh, it is contacting the web server. Web server is contacting the database server. Database server is loading web server is loading the data from the database server. Explain this in the video. Every second it happens. Imagine 1,000 computers are connected to a server now. 1,000 clients. All the 1,000 are doing the same thing now. Every second they click on a refresh. Are you getting me? Now 1,000. Now imagine for 1 second, 1,000 requests are coming to web server. Web server is performing life cycle operation for 1,000 times, rendering the output and sending to the browser. This is what I wanted to minimize. This is what I just wanted to minimize. I want to minimize this basically. I don't want this to happen like this. Okay, I want this to happen only for one time for every 30 seconds. Did you understand me or not? I want this to happen only for one time for every 30 seconds. We'll minimize it. But now see, when I refresh, both the 2 times are changing or not. Focus on the time, guys. Changing the server time also. Changing the client time also. Both are changing, right? Okay. Now I'll show you the difference. If I want to use caching, I said, you don't require to write any extra logic for it, guys. Go to the top of the page and here you're required to add a directive called as output cash. What is it? Output cash. Basically, you require to pass some information for it. What is it? Duration. How much time do you want this output to be cached? The time should be specified in seconds. The time should be specified in seconds. I want to cache for 30 seconds. And then it will ask you for another thing called as vary by param. I'll explain you about this. I'll explain you about this one. It will ask you for one more thing called vary by param. I'll tell you what is it. But right now, duration clear now? Okay, run. Once again, you can watch first time, the server time, the client time, both are the same. Correct? Huh? Guys, I'm refreshing the page. Did you notice it? Server time is not changing. Sir, cached output is coming here. The output is cached already. And the cached output contains the value 954.34 until the next 30 seconds, means 955. 955.02. The same output will come now. Time over now. Watch. After 30 seconds, it won't bring a new copy, man. What did you do, sir? After 30 seconds, it will flush the old copy. That's all. Did you catch my point or not? After 30 seconds, don't think like it will bring a new copy to the cache. No, no. After 30 seconds, it will flush the old copy. So next request, when it comes, then create it. If, see, after 30 seconds, if a new copy comes, here we should see the time as 9:55:02. But you're not seeing that. Why, sir? Because after 30 seconds, old copy got deleted. My next request came at 9:55:04. Then only new copy is created. Okay. Suppose if the 30 seconds would have been completed. Yeah, completed. The 30 seconds is completed now. Okay. Now I'll send a request. And now the new copy will be created. See. Now, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, million people are sending a request for this now. The same output will be given to them. Are you clearer or not? Data changes. More than 30 seconds past, data won't be changed off now. Within 30 seconds, if it changed also, no problem. We'll get a fresh copy. If you feel it's very sensitive data, make it 20 seconds. Or make it 10 seconds. Choice is yours. Did you understand caching? What are you caching? We are caching the output of a page. What are you caching? Actually, caching is two types. One is output caching and one is data caching. One is output caching. One is data caching. What is output caching? Output caching means we will store the output of a page in the cache memory. What we'll do? We will store the output of a page in the cache memory. We are going to store the output of a page in the cache memory. Second one is data caching. What is data caching? Data caching means we store some data in the cache. It is same like storing some data into a session memory or a application memory or a view state. I have a data set. Can I store the data set in a session memory and use it for the next time? Tell me. Data caching is also same. We can store a data set into a cache memory and use it. But here we're not storing data. What are we storing? The output of a page. What we are storing is a output, because two types of cachings are there. What are the two types? Output caching, data caching. What I'm showing you right now is output cache. After completing this, I'll show you data cache also. But now we are going for output caching now. Is everyone clearer? Yes or not? Okay, this is about the output caching. Here we use the, understood the duration now? Here we use the attribute called vary by param. What is this, sir? I'll delete it, guys. I'll delete it and run. Error. What is telling you? The director is missing. What is that? A vary by param attribute which should be set to none or star or a semicolon separated list of values. This is missing. Vary by param is missing. Okay, I need to use that vary by param. But still you'll be having a doubt. What is the need of it, sir? I'll show you practically. Wait. But are you clearer with this now? Understood caching or not? So this is basically what we call as caching. Okay. Now I want to show you one more example on this caching here. Another example. What is that? We have a department and employee tables now. Do we have data in employee tables or we deleted all the rows? Yeah, you can use it. Caching is used for displaying the credit score. Yeah, you can use caching for displaying credit score now. What is it? They'll cache it. for every 5 seconds. Imagine the cricket score is cast for 5 seconds now. How many people will be sending a request in this 5 seconds throughout the country? For everyone, this output will be coming. For everyone, this output will be coming. Select star from department. So data is there. Select star from employee. Only one record there, guys. Okay, we'll do one thing. Truncate table employee. Yeah. Select star from okay. I have an employee table here. Columns are different. Salary is there. Just a minute. Department ID is there or not? Let us. Status is there. Department ID is not there. Yeah. Present here. ID, job, name, salary, department ID. Okay. So how to write? I said here. Insert into which one? Employee. Select star from that. But not select star, guys, because our employee table has 5 columns. On here we have 6 columns. So specify the columns. What do you want to know? You want e-name, you want job, you want salary, you want the ID. So why, sir? Because there is auto generation. Our employee is auto generation. Okay, so here also we need to specify that columns then. Insert into employee. What columns? E-name, job, salary, department ID. Select so-and-so columns from so-and-so. 25 rows came now. And you see they're corresponding to different departments now. 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. Well, guys, I have a requirement. What the requirement is? The requirement will be like, I want a drop-down list showing all the departments. Below that, I want a grid view. Clear? I want a drop-down list showing all the departments, department numbers 10, 20, 30, 40. Below that, I want a grid view. Are you getting me or not? What I want is a grid view. I just want a grid view showing all the employees. Okay. Later, I want a search operation now. What is the search operation? If I select the department 10 now, the grid view should filter me and show you 10. There's 10 employees now, 20, 30 employees, 30 employees. Like this, I just want the output to be displayed like this. Okay, let's design it first. What do you want? One drop down, below that a grid view. Okay, come on. Let's add a web form. Look, guys, a simple design here. See what I have done. I taken a table. First row, one column, align center. I added a drop down now. For the name, DDL department. Run it, server. I'm also setting the auto pushback property as true. I'm also setting the auto pushback property as true now. So the auto pushback property is set as true here. Are you clear or not? Okay, so I just set the auto pushback property as true in this case. Fine. What next? Below that, in the next cell, I have a grid view control. In the next cell, I have a grid view control. I add a grid view control also here. So we have a drop down and a grid view. One drop down and one grid view. Okay, now it looks like this, man. Now in the drop down, can you load the data from the department? And in the drop down, I want to load the data from the department. I already shown you that. And in the grid, I want to load the data from employee. Okay. Well, I showed you how to load multiple tables into data radar now. Yes or not? But I did not show you how to load multiple tables into data set. Yeah, I'll show you now. I'm going to load two tables into my data set now. One is employee and one is department. First one department, second one employee. First one department, second one employee. I'm going to show you now. Watch. Let's import the two namespaces. Okay, data SQL client. Next, I will use one. I'm going for a global declaration, guys. What I have? Data set, adapter, connection. Data set, data adapter, and a connection. As for every execute non-core operation, can we put that condition? You cannot, that is different. We will see that is data caching. Output cache cannot be done like that. So the question is, read this. Means what they suppose they performed an insert. Data should be reloaded. Cache should be recreated. We cannot do it here. It's only time based. It's only time based. This option is available for data caching, not available for output caching. For output caching, this option is not available. But this option is available for data caching. Are you clear? Okay, we'll see that in the data caching. No worries. Yeah, man, I'm coming here. Let me write the code for you for loading the data from the two different tables to you. Watch it, all of you. What am I doing first? Creating a connection object. Next, if not post back, creating a open the mouse adapter. What did I pass? Select star from department, comma con. Next, you know that code now. What is there? That's old code, nothing new. Data, one table is loaded. Which table? Department. Which table? And remember, you call it fill method. And when you call the fill method internally, select command will execute. Update method will execute. Insert update delete command. But select command will execute. Sorry. Fill method will call select command. Yes or not? What is the correct select command? Select star from department. I called fill method. When I call fill method, connection is open. Select command is executed. Data loaded. Correct? Now tell me, once the table is loaded, select the command, job is completed. Agree with me? Once the table is loaded, select the command, job is completed. Yes or not? Open the mouse here. Okay. So the select command work is completed here. Once we done this. Am I clear? Well, see guys, what am I doing now? I am overriding the select command now. Select command is overridden. Again. One more time connection is reopened. One more time select command executes. And one more table is loaded. And remember now your data set has two tables in it. Clear or not? For reader, this is not the process. For reader, what is it? Multiple select statements can be given with a comma separated list. For adapter, it's a different process. Every time you're required to override. Now two tables are there. Now suppose you want to load the third table. Can you tell me the code? I want to load the third table now. DA dot select command dot command text is equals to select star from. Suppose I want to load the data from the customer table. DA dot fill DS comma customer. That's it. Now the third table is loaded. The third table is loaded. Like this, you can load any number of tables into the data set now. Are you clear? Okay, fine. Now, guys, observe it. What am I doing? You remember this 5 lines of code? Earlier, we used to bind the data sets directly to the drop-down list and grid view controller. But now you're not binding the data set. Notice you're binding the data table. Earlier, we used to write DDL DPT dot data source is equals to DS. Go and check it out your code. Shown you already. How do we write? DDL DPT dot data source is equals to DS. Why? Earlier there is only one table. So you can bind up the data set directly, but now you have one table or two tables. So clearly tell now, DS dot tables of, actually I said you 10 tables are there. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can access it. But how do you remember 0 is which table? It won't be descriptive. That's why when you have multiple tables, always make the habit of using the table name than the index. See what I'm writing? Tables of which table? Department table. And you know the rest of the code. Text field, value field, bind, and what there? 0, all. All means all records. All records will come now. Okay now? Next. Remember, till yesterday, this is what you have written. Till yesterday, this is what you have written. Why, sir? Only one table. Today, two tables. That's why I should tell it. And all this is written under the is not post back. Is not a post back. Run. We're still not done. We have other things to do. First, what we come? We'll be getting the department. And in the bottom, you'll be getting the employee. You see there. 25 records are there. All 25 loaded. Now the requirement is select marketing. So get the marketing information now. If I select accounting information. If I select all data should come. If that is the case, you're required to write the logic under the drop-down list. Selected index changed event. We've done it already now. Selected index changed event. And if at all it has to work, you're required to set the auto push back for this drop-down list now. I already set the auto push back for the drop-down list. You can check. The auto pushback property of the drop-down list is set as true. Is it clear, guys? Okay, just a minute. Here also, I want to show the client time, man. Explained you this already now. I want to show the client time. That is the JavaScript code what I'm writing. Okay, well, now in the drop-down list, what code? Selected index changes. So double click on it. Right now. What is it? See, if DDL department dot selected index is equals to 0. 0 means all. If it is all, watch. DA dot select command dot command text is equals to, what is it? Command text is equals to, what are you writing? Select star from employee. Select star from employee. Okay now? Else. No, it is not 0. If it is not 0 means 1, 2, 3, 4, anything it can be. DA dot select command dot command text is equals to select what? Star from employee, where EID is equals to DDL department dot selected value. Okay, next. DA dot fill what? DS and employee. Okay, DS and employee. What next? Grid view name. Do I give any name for the grid view? GVMP dot data source is equals to DS. Spelling mistake. Data source is equals to, and GVMP dot data bind. Just calling GVMP dot data bind. And all this code executes in the drop down list select index change. Oh, we created this inside the if condition. Okay. We created that inside the if condition, guys. So then we should compulsory say DA is equals to new SQL data adapter, comma, comma. I think we need to create the data set also. DS is equals to new data set. Okay, done. Yeah, guys, let's see this working or not. Marketing, sales, accounting, finance, all. Is that clear? Yes or not? So whatever I select, that is coming. And further, we return the logic under. It is all. What is the query? But if it is not 0, then we are writing department ID and again loading the data. And here also, I just want to write the code for displaying the client time. Sorry, server time. Want to write the code for displaying the server time. Yeah, this code I reset you already. Server mission date time. Server mission date time. So guys, I did not still enable the caching for you. Caching is not enabled here. Okay. Now you can see the server time on the top. Sorry. You can see the server time on the top, client time on the bottom. And see, you find 1 second difference. See, server processed on 10, 15, 33 seconds. Client processed on time difference came now. You can observe, but mostly you won't get same missions. You won't get. See, I'm going for sales. I did not get any difference in the time. See, may happen, may not happen. Everything is working perfectly, right? Tell me, everything is working perfectly, right or not? Now I want to enable caching. Now I want to enable caching. I want to do caching on this particular page for 45 seconds. Okay, can you help me? Same, we have done earlier 30 seconds, now 45 seconds. Run. See the problem now. We have a problem here. What is the problem? Come on, guys. I'm using marketing. Caching came now? Yes or not? Now I want to see sales. If you want to see sales data, you are required to wait for 45 seconds now. Why? Caching applied. So this cache will be in the memory. Now we search sales also. See, not changing. Client time is changing. See, but summertime the cache output will come. How much time you require to wait now? 45 seconds. If you wait, you will get the output here. Means something around 39, 11, 10, 17, 39 is the time when you can get the next copy. Until then, you're required to wait. Are you ready to wait? It looks funny now. What is this? Why? See? You got finance now. Wait for another 40 seconds to see the other data, accounting or any of these particular things. So you feel like caching is very worse now. Yes or not? We feel caching is very worst. Why? Wait, yeah. Tomorrow, imagine that is cached for 5 minutes now. To see the next output, you record to wait 5 times 5 minutes now. 300 seconds. Okay. This is the place where we use this attribute called vary by param. Vary by param. Specify your control name now. What is the control? Vary by the parameter value present in the DDL department. Vary by the parameter value present in the drop-down list. Run and see the difference. Go for marketing. Note the time, guys. 10:18:40. Remember? Another cache copy is created. 40, 46, 53, right? Come on, 40, 43, 40, 46, 53, 59. Correct? Huh? Okay, go to marketing. Check it out. This is one copy, another copy, another copy, another copy. Are you guys clearer or not? So that is what is creating you separate copies now for each now. 25. Why the copies are destroyed? Okay, see now 46, 53, and this is 25 now. 1925. Maybe sales copy also destroyed. Sales copy also destroyed now. Accounting, let us see. Accounting copy also destroyed. All got recreating separate copies now. Did you understand the beauty of variable param now? Means it is maintaining a separate cache copy for each list, each selection. It is maintaining a separate copy for each selection. For marketing, one copy is created. Sales, one copy is created. Finance, one copy created. And something else. Accounting, one copy is created. 4 separate cache copies. And that's what vary by param is all about. Default value none. Previous example, I don't want to vary by param now. That's why I said, no, I don't want. But now I'm telling, vary by the parameter value present in the drop-down list. Tomorrow, suppose 2 drop-downs are there. And your selections are coming based on the 2 drop-downs. Are you clear? Your selections are happening based on 2 drop-downs. You select the first drop-down, select drop-down, a combination, one cache copy should be created. Again, first drop-down, second, another combination, another cache copy can be created. No problem, guys. If that is the case, you can put a comma and you can specify the second drop-down list name also. So the cache is created on a combination of the 2 drop-downs for you. It's the combination of the 2 drop-downs. It is going to create your cache copy for you. That is what vary by param is. Okay. Actually, it is not optional. Sorry, it is not mandatory to use, but we have another attribute called as location, guys. Where you want this cache copy to be created? Where you want the cache copy to be created? And different options are there. What is the first one? That is the default here. That is the default. Any. What is any? Server decides. Server decides where this cache copy should be placed. Server decides where this cache copy should be placed. Second, client. Means the cache copy is created on the client computer, not on the server computer. So 100 clients are there, means on all the 100 systems it will show a separate cache copy now. Okay, I'll explain you downstream. None. No caching. That is no caching here. When I say none, I don't want caching. Server. The cache copy is created on the server side. The cache copy is created on the server side. Client and the server. One cache copy is created on the server, one on the client. Means one cache copy is on the server here. When the client goes to the request, the cache copy is created on the client now. So server has a cache copy. Client also has a cache copy now. That is called client and server. What is downstream? What is downstream means? Actually, in web applications here, we need to understand about one architecture called as web form architecture. In web application development, we need to understand about one architecture called as web form architecture. What is web form architecture? See, listen. What is web form architecture is, if at all, you notice the IRCTC website, morning 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, when the Tapal reservation starts, the server never responds to anyone. Yes or not? Millions of people hitting the server, only few people gets lucky to access the server. Am I right? Understood? Huh? Okay. But I have a small doubt. What is the doubt? Is IRCTC server having more load than Facebook? Is IRCTC server has more load than a Facebook? Facebook server is used throughout the world. IRCTC used only in India. But we never face this problem with Facebook anytime. We never face this problem with Google anytime. Is IRCTC more popular than Google? Facebook? No. Amazon? But these particular servers never created problems for us now. Why IRCTC is only creating the problem? Because this Facebook, Google, all will be running for your architect web form architecture. What is that? Web form architecture. What is web form architecture? Web form architecture means the application is installed on multiple web servers, not part. The complete application will be installed on multiple servers. Imagine the installed application on 10 servers now. Okay. So now what happens, the 10 servers will be there where the application is installed. And on the top of them, there will be a server called as proxy. There will be a server called as proxy. Okay. So now, whenever a client request comes now, the client request first comes to the proxy. What will the proxy do? Proxy will not do any processing. It will send that request to a server. Second request comes, request sent to second server. Third request comes to third server, distributes the load now. What is it doing? It's distributing the load. See, you go to a jewelry showroom or a cloth showroom or somewhere, you find salesmen there. Or you go there, there is a supervisor in the entrance of the particular showroom asking, what do you want? You say something, I want some chain or bangles or something. Now immediately he will call you a salesman and he will endorse the salesman to, and the salesman will be with you until you leave the store. Yes or not? Another customer comes, another salesman, another customer, another salesman. The same salesman is never engaged with two customers. Are you getting me? So they're distributing the load between the people now. So exactly, in web form architecture also, it is the same thing. First, where the request goes to the proxy. What will the proxy do? The proxy is going to distribute. We call this proxy as a load balancer. What do we call? Load balancer. So a load balancer is going to balance the load between the systems now. It is going to balance the load between the systems. That's what we call web form architecture. Watch. Application running on servers, clients, with the help of internet. Proxy. The load balancer is a proxy. What is it doing? See? It is distributing the request. So balancing the load now. So mainly all the popular servers in the industry will run in this web form architecture only. Will be running in the web form architecture. They'll be running in the web form architecture like Google, Facebook. So then why IRCTC doesn't run in the same web form architecture? It won't run. The reason, I will balance the load. I will balance the load and give equal priority for all the people. Do you have the seats available? Seats are less. There are some 50 seats available. 10,000 people coming now. If I balance the load also, what is the use now? How many people can I serve? 50 people only. Then what is the point of balancing the load, extra servers and all these things, unnecessary investment? That's it. Nah. You can give only for 50 people. When you can give only for 50 people, there's no point of balancing the load and giving all priority for all the people now. That is waste. That is why IRCTC will never go for load balancing. Is it clear? Okay, Amazon is there. Load balancing will be done. Why? They have products to sell. The more they sell, the more the profit they get now. So load balancing is very important. Yes or not? You open the Amazon site is not responding. You wait for 3 minutes. They're not responding, you'll close. Again, after some time, I'll come back, you'll think like that. You may come, you may not come. So business is next. Yes or not? So I should not lose the business. When the customer comes only, I should sell. Understood my point? So then load balancing is mandatory. Load balancing is mandatory. Okay? And if at all you are using this downstream now, what is that? Downstream. The downstream means it is going to create the cache copy on the load balancer machine, on the proxy. On the proxy means no need to go to the server also now. Where is the cache copy? Proxy. Visit the proxy. Proxy will give you the cache copy. Come back. No need to visit the web server. That is called downstream. Did you understand my point here? Okay. If you want to give a chance for the server to decide, leave any. No, sir, I will decide. What you will decide? Server or client? Then you write. I am deciding it to be on server. I want the cache copy to be created on the server. If you don't write this, the default value is any. Are you clear about the attribute? So what are the attributes? Duration. There you are required to specify the time in seconds. Second, vary by param. There you are required to specify the variation parameter. The variation parameter, based on that, the output cache should be varying now. Third, location, where you want to store this. Okay, did you understand vary by param now? Understood location also? I'm deciding caching should be done on this server machine for me now. Okay, I decided and I just used it. Well, as I said to you in the morning, caching is two types. What are the two types? Output caching, data caching. What is output caching? Output caching means here you're going to store the output. What are you going to store? The output of a page in the cache memory and use it for the subsequent request over a period of time. What is that? Here we are going to store the output of a page in the cache memory and going to use it for you're going to use it for the subsequent request over a period of time. Over a period of time, 30 seconds or 60 seconds or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, your choice. Over a period of time, you can just use it. Second thing is data caching. What is data caching? Data caching means here we are not going to store any output of the page in the cache memory, guys. What we are going to store? The data. This is as the same as storing the data in a session or a view state or a application. Understood or not? Remember, the hit count variable we stored in a view state. Remember, view state of counter is equals to 0. And afterwards, you get and set it. In the place of view state, we can use session, we can use application, and a creator one page demonstrating the difference between all the three also. View state, a single user local data, session, single user global data, application, multi-user global data. Session is single user local data accessible for one user in one page. View state is single user local data accessible for one user, one page. A session, single user global data accessible to one user in multiple pages. Application, multi-user global data accessible for multiple users in multiple pages. How did you store them? How did we use them? Tell me. How do you store a value in the session? What can I answer? Yeah, that's not in my hands. So that's why I'm not answering those particular questions. See, management tells whatever I need to face that. I'm only an employee here. Okay, I don't have any right to choose myself. That's why whoever asks, I keep silent. Just talk with your admin, please. I cannot answer that question about MVC. That's why I'm not talking on that particular thing. Okay, well, guys, have a look. How do you store a value in the view state? View state of some name count is equals to 1. So I want to store in a session. How do you store an application? Got the point? This is how you're storing the values. This is how you are storing the appropriate value. View state of, session of, application of, and you're storing. Same like this now, you can store in a cache also. How? Same. What are you storing? Data, not output. What are you storing? Data. I can store anything now. I can store a data set in it. I can store a data reader in it. I can store a dictionary in it. I've shown all these things. I'm sorry. I cannot store a data reader. I can store a data set. I can store a list. I can store a dictionary. I can store a string. Anything I can store. Are you clear? Okay, so this is also same. Now you'll ask me, sir, first one is single user, local data. Second one is single user, global data. Third one is multi-user, global data. Clear or not? Single user local data, single user global data, multi-user global data. Sir, what about cache, sir? Cache is also multi-user global data. This is equivalent to application. Cache is equivalent to application. Did you understand me or not? Then you'll have a doubt, sir, I have application now. Why need cache again then? Application is there now. Then what is the need of cache again? Are you clear? So that you have a doubt. Okay, I'll answer your question. But cache is equivalent to application, not to view state or session. Not to view state or a session. Okay. Now the biggest question mark is, sir, what is the difference between storing in application memory and storing in the cache memory? Okay, because both are same. These are the differences, guys. First difference. Reading that you should yourself what you learned in case of your application. Remember, working with an application before, you required to call application.lock, and the end you should call application.unlock. I clearly shown you that. Yes, sir. Application state is not thread safe. I should call locking and unlocking, but cache is thread safe. No need to call. An application state is accessible in Google ASX. One day I showed you this example. Remember, online users, total users. On that day, we use this application global.asx only, but I cannot use cache in global.asx. Cache is not accessible for you in global.asx file. Are you getting my point? Third one. Application state is long running here. Application state is long running. What is that, sir? Means if you store anything in application, that won't be destroyed until you restart the server or explicitly assign null. I stored something in application memory that will be sitting like that only. Throughout my application, that will be sitting in the application memory. Someone has to delete it or assign a null value. Until you do that, the data in the application memory will never be lost. But that's not the case with cache memory here. See, it doesn't have a long time. Server can remove the values in cache memory at any point of time. So for some time it can remove. Or right now, the memory is overloaded. The memory is overloaded. First thing that will be cleared from the memory is cache. And your computers and your mobile devices also, when your system gets slow, you have the apps, so many apps like clear cache. When you say clear cache, the cache memory gets cleared for us now. Here also the same thing. Want it to clear your cache, but it will never clear your application until explicitly do. That is long lasting. That is long lasting, but cache is not long lasting. So in these three, here what we did is what we saw. Cache is good. Cache wins over application memory now. Here, application memory wins over cache. Here, who is the winner? Application. Application. That is long lasting. Cache is not long lasting now. So is the winner. Application. Application is long lasting now. Cache can be flushed out anytime. Now see the fourth one. Yeah. What is this? Yeah, someone asked this question 10 minutes back. I showed you the question. After performing a TML, can I reclaim the cache now? Okay, can I restore the cache again? That is the question. What I said, you output cache, it is not possible, but data caching is possible. What is that, When you store values in the cache memory, you can maintain three types of dependencies with it. We can maintain three types of dependencies with it. What are the three types? First one, time-based. What is time-based? The first two examples I shown you time-based only. The first two examples, what I shown you are time-based. I shown you time-based only there. Are you clear? Duration. After the duration completed, cache is flushed out. Cache is flushed out. You can put some duration of 1 minute. After 1 minute, cache is flushed out. And here we have two options again. I said you this terminology to you. Absolute expiration, sliding expiration. Once when I was explaining about sessions, I taught you this concept to you. Absolute expiration, sliding expiration. What is absolute expiration? Absolute expiration means what we saw in the previous case. The first two examples, what we saw is absolute expiration. What is it? The data stored in the cache memory at 10:30. 10:30:00, the data is stored in the cache. And this is for 60 seconds. This time duration is 60 seconds. Exactly 10:31, that cache is flushed out. Someone is using, I don't care, time over, cache flushed out. Like your examination. Like your examination. That is what we call absolute expiration. Second option, sliding expiration. When the clock is reset at every last request. The clock is reset every last request. See, my cache duration is 60 seconds here. 10:30 is my first request. My second request went on 10:30:55. 10:30, the clock is reset there. Again, you need to calculate 60 seconds from 10:30:55, not from 10. Array, sessions are sliding only now. Your examinations are absolute. Your examinations are absolute expiration. If you talk about the session is going to be a sliding expiration. Something like you're playing a sport, you're playing a game. There are 20, 30 rounds in the game now. You clear the first round, you send to the second round now. You clear the second round, you get to the third round. You failed in the third round, start from first again. Are you clear? Okay, that is what? What is it? Sliding. Third completed. I'll send you the fourth then. Fourth completed. I'll send you to fifth now. Same way. Within time, you come back. I'll send you to the next. I'll calculate. I'll reset the clock now and I'll set the timer from there. That is called as sliding. And recollect yourself. Sessions are sliding expiration only. Okay. That is one dependency, what we call time-based. Means I'll store some data into the cache memory and say that this should store in the cache memory for the next 60 seconds. After 60 seconds, the data is deleted. Okay, now? Second option, file-based. What is this file-based? I loaded data from a file into my cache memory. I loaded some data from a file into the cache memory. Some data from the file I loaded into the cache memory. Okay? File is not being modified. Then cache also doesn't require modification now. File modified here after 10 minutes, file modified. When the file is modified, immediately the data in the cache will be flushed out. You don't require to do anything. We'll establish a dependency. File modified, data deleted. So now if first copy will come back again now. That means now every time there is an update, the data is reloaded from a file. What do we call it? If you link it with a file, that is file-based dependency. If you link it with the database, that is a scale-based dependency. That's it. Both are same. One is from file, one is from database. Database means not all databases are only SQL server only have. File means any file, no problem. Excel file, XML file, any file, no problem. But SQL dependency means only SQL server. You cannot establish the SQL dependency with Oracle or MySQL. It gives a chance only with SQL server. Are you clear? So these options are not available for application state. I load data into application state. Tomorrow something is modified in the table. The data changes won't reflect in my application now. Are you getting me? But if I use a cache, what will the benefit now? When the table modified, my cache copy is deleted. So next request will load you a fresh copy again. Next request will load you a fresh copy again. That is the benefit what we have with the cache compared with the application. So what should I use, sir, means that depends upon your requirement. Suppose you have some global data for all, but this data will never change. There is some global data here, but this data will never change. Tell me, application or cache? Application. I should use application. I have some global data, but this data has frequent changes. Cache. Multiple options are there means you're required to pick the correct option, the correct time. As a developer, that is only your challenge now. Are you getting me? Are you picking the correct object or not? If you pick the correct object, you're success. If you're not able to pick the correct object, it's a failure. Okay? So these are the benefits of the cache over the application memory. But still, I don't say cache is 100% correct. Depending on the requirement, we use it. Okay? How to store values in the cache? You can store like this also, guys. You can store like this also. There's another option for storing values in the cache. Cache.add key value. Cache.insert key value. All three are same. You can use any of the three. You can use any of the three options here. Okay. Well, let me show you how to store data into the cache memory. Data into the cache memory, not output. What I'm storing? Data into cache memory. Okay. Simple, man. I shown you already a similar example with session earlier. Add a grid view, guys. ASP colon grid view ID is equals to grid view 1. Run it equal to server. Oh God. Sorry. Okay. Simple. One grid view I place, that's it. Now I'm writing SQL client. Guys, I am creating a data set globally. I hope you all remember this code. If session of customer DS is equals to null, means if there is no session if there is no customer DS in the session, okay, SQL data adapter DA is equals to new SQL data adapter, select star from customer, comma, read CS dot ASPDB. DS is equals to new data set. DA dot fill DS comma customer. Remember this? Afterwards, session of customer DS is equals to DS. You stored it. In the else part, without going to the database, remember what we say? DS is equals to data set of session of customer DS. Guys, there is nothing new in this. I explained you this code to you already. Grid u1 dot data source is equals to ds grid u1 dot data 1. So first time it load your data from database, stores in the cache. Next time onwards, will it go to the database again? No, it won't go to the database. From where it will load you the data? From where it will load you the data? It will load you the data from the session. Are you clear? It is going to load you the data from the session. Just like we use the session, replace it with cache now. Replace it with cache. That's it. I'm replacing the session. See, in the place of session, I can use view state. And I can use view state. I can use application. But what are we using? Cache. 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 Just to make you understand, here I'm writing response.write. What? Data loaded from database server. And here I'm writing data loaded from cache memory. Data loaded from cache now. Okay. First time, what will I get? Data loaded from database or data loaded from cache? Data loaded from database. Why? First time there's no cache here. First time the data gets loaded from the database. Observe it. Watch it. Data loaded from. Shall I refresh? If I refresh, there is a post or not? Keep refreshing here. It is loading from the cache. I'm running this page for 1 hour. 1 hour it load from cache. Meanwhile, data can be changed in the database, man. Meanwhile, data can be changed in the. So establish a dependency now. Establish a dependency. Go with dependency now. If you use a dependency, what happens? 1 hour you leave the same page and middle you're refreshing. New changes can come now. What type of dependencies can I have? I can have time-based dependency and I can have SQL-based dependency. Here you load it from database now. Why will you go for a file-based now? Time-based, SQL-based. Time-based then SQL-based. I'll show you both options. Again, if you're choosing time-based, 2 options again. Absolute sliding. Absolute and sliding. Absolute means suppose I get it for 5 minutes now. After 5 minutes, cache is destroyed, new uploads. Sliding. Without refreshing, if you leave 5 minutes, after that it will load. Absolute expiration, sliding expiration. Okay, right now see, it is not killing the cache. See, I refreshed it, man. I loaded, I kept talking with you for 2 or 3 minutes. Again, I refreshed it. Cache memory usually giving the output now. But I want to kill this. I want to kill this after some time now. Okay, just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, sometime I want to kill the cache copy. Okay, then we can go for using the first type of dependency. What is that? Time-based dependency. Okay, I'll show you. Guys, I said you, remember you can store values in the cache. This is one way of storing. Another way, what I said you? Cache.add. ds. Okay, same way you can use cache.insert. Watch it, same output will come. Loaded from. Loaded from database. Cache. Are you clear? Loaded from database, loaded from cache memory. Understood all of you? Okay. Now look at this carefully. What is it? When you're loading the app, when you're loading from the database or the cache, whatever it is, I said you can use cache.add method, you can use cache off, you can use cache.insert. But in cache.insert, basically this is an overload method and you can specify some extra attributes now. You can specify some extra attributes. What attributes can I specify extra? Look guys, what are the extra attributes you can specify here? It's a overload method. Key value, you can use a cache dependency, but you need to use this overload for file and SQL. This overload is used for file and SQL. We have one more overload. That's what I should use. Now I'm passing null here and put a comma. Watch. Key value cache dependency is null. When should I use it? File and SQL. But now we are trying time. Now see. If you want absolute expression, you are required to specify here. If you want sliding expression, you need to specify here. How should I specify? The absolute expression is taken as date time. Guys, watch. Date time dot now dot add seconds. That is how you specify the absolute expression. Sorry guys, not now dot. UTC now dot. What is UTC now, sir? UTC now means the GMT what we learned in our school days. The Greenwich Mean Time. But in right now, in the software, they don't use the word GMT, they call it UTC. Universal Coordinated Time. Not UCT. UTC. But full form is Universal Coordinated Time. Universal Coordinate Time. This is nothing but the GMT of the Greenwich Mean Time what we learned in the school days. Are you clear? You should use that UTC now dot add seconds. So how much? 30 seconds. How much time I'm giving? 30 seconds. So you want to use absolute or sliding up? First I'm trying absolute now. I don't want a sliding. So put a comma and then it will ask you about the sliding expression now. What it will ask you? Sliding expression. So how you required to tell that sliding expression? System dot web dot caching dot cache dot no sliding expression. There's a namespace here. Put this on the top. I'll put this on the top. Wait. Using. See, what should I write? Guys, tomorrow, if you want to use a sliding expression, in the fourth place, you should write cache dot no absolute expression and specify the time in the fifth place now. Array, 4 are there, 5 are there. See, first one. Second one, the object value. Third one, dependency. We don't want dependency, null. Fourth one, absolute expression. Fifth one, sliding. I don't want sliding now. I want absolute. How much time? 30 seconds. So observe guys, I'm running this page now. The output came at 10:57:23. 10:57:23. Okay, the output is cached here. When? 10:57:23. And now at 30 seconds means 53, somewhere around 55. This cache get destroyed. See now, I'm refreshing guys. Where am I getting from? Cache memory. Keep refreshing like this. Check it out. You got from database server. Why? Cache deleted. Automatically loaded from the database. Understood? Sir, I want a sliding expression. What I want to say? Okay, watch. Now reverse this. Cache dot no absolute expression, comma. Now you're required to specify the sliding expression, not the date time, guys. What is it? Time span. How you should write? Time span dot from seconds and give it 30. Miss, from the last request, what is the meaning of from the last request 30 seconds. From the last request 30 seconds. Absolute means from the first request 30 seconds. Do you understand or not? Absolute means first request. Sliding means last request. When the last request is there, from there calculate 30 seconds. See, first time output will come from database, cache. Now guys, I'm refreshing here. Concentrate all of you here. I'm refreshing. Whenever I'm refreshing, the clock is getting reset. So I'm keeping on refreshing here. See, 10:59:25. I refreshed it. Clock is reset. Are you clear? So wait until 55. In between, if you click on refresh again, your clock will be reset. Be careful. Are you getting me? See, at 10:40 refreshed, clock is reset. So now I need to wait until 11:10 seconds. 11:10 seconds. No, see now the time is 55. But if I try refreshing, I need to wait for 30 seconds again. Be careful. Okay, let us see. Another 10 seconds. Database. What is this? Sliding expiration. Absolute expiration, sliding expiration. Are you clear with the time based? Yes or not? Next class I'll show you file based, SQL based. Means we will be linking with the file. If file changes, cache is reloaded. Same way we'll link with the database. If database changes, cache is reloaded. That's what we'll do. Okay, let's stop here. We'll meet on Monday.